Let me make sure this is on. Let's see. Much better. All right. Peace and love, family. Peace and love. Make sure to like and share the video if you haven't. My thoughts on the game. First of all, the people there. I met so many people who are either Jackson State fans or Grambling fans. They showed love, man. JSU, you have something special going on. That stadium is not a normal stadium. They could have, I mean, this could be a rare, a consistent occurrence of having a lot of people in one stadium and supporting their team. For those who just came through, hit the like button, share this video if you haven't. Yes, I got this shirt on, All Eyes on Thee. This is a dope shirt. I like the name. I like the creativity of it, and it rhymes well. Got the JSU hat. If you want me to rock your school's merch, either via email or Twitter, hit me up. So I'm willing to rock anything. Now, some of the people who follow me, who are big time JSU fans, they have no problem with me wearing different stuff. They always tell me just don't wear Southern. Shout out to Southern. I saw you there at the game. Shout out to Sonic Boom C98. He said JSU has to stop giving up points and leaving them on the field. Turnovers. JSU has to hold the ball more. They cannot afford to have too many missed opportunities. Those 2 turnovers led to 14 points, 2 touchdowns. If anything, there should have been 10 points in this game. That run by Maurice Washington, what I tell you about Maurice Washington, he's the real deal. He's 4.3 speed. Looking at film, I knew he was going to crack one. I'm not surprised. And the bright side for Grambling State, you have something you work with. Hawkins, he's not a star, but you could do a lot with him. When you play against teams like Jackson State, you got to capitalize. You got to make sure that there's no missed opportunities, no blunders. Hold the ball. And I have a rule for skill players. If you're outmanned, let's say you catch the ball, bubble screen. Let's have an example. Let's say a receiver catches a bubble screen. If you're surrounded by 3 or 4 people, get down. Unless you need to get that first down. Like it's the game on the line, just get down. Because 9 out of 10 times, what's going to happen is you're going to fumble. In that first possession by Grambling State, they fumble the ball because they're trying to get extra here and there. Save another day, save another down. Yeah, 100+ degrees. This won't be a long stream, but let me tell you what I liked on Jackson State side. What Jackson State was doing on defense, besides that big run, defenses as well as advertised, again, turnovers, that changes momentum. And if you look at the score, you say, oh, JSU gave up 24 points. But there was that last touchdown, the backups came in. That didn't help. So for the most part, I can't really blame defense because defense has been consistent. Defense was on the field a lot in this game. Grambling were doing things that were different than most teams, even different than Tennessee State. Credit to Hugh Jackson. He has a great thing going for him. And this is not a game where you look back and you got to put your head down if you're Grambling. What you need to do is try to win the SWAC West. That's what you have to do. You have to find a way to win the SWAC West. Now, I don't know the score. Can someone give me the score to the Texas Southern score? last time I saw it, Southern was losing to Texas Southern by 2 touchdowns. And what did I tell you about Andrew Body? When he's upright, when the offensive line gives him time, he's a problem. For Shadir Sanders, he had 300 plus yards passing, had a couple of passing touchdowns. What he has to do, and I'll say it again, you have to hold on to the ball, Shadir. Sometimes when he's running loosely, you see the ball is like this. When you do this right here, you're going to fumble. You got to tuck it in and secure. That's why I like when Savion Wilkinson, shout out to him, he had 100, and I repeat, 139 yards rushing. Now, JSU fans, when the last time a running back for JSU had that many yards in the regular season? Yeah. I'm not surprised. And the funny part is, J.D. Martin started the game. But I knew when Savion got in the game, I said, oh, man, this is about to be a show. And it was. Let me chat. Let me read some of these comments. Sonic Boom said we give teams life and hope they shouldn't have. Yeah, when you have the turnovers that are costly to your defense, it's 100+ degrees on that field. Your defense, if you're JSU, needs rest, and when you cough up the ball, expect them to give up a touchdown. They're not robots. They're human beings. Yeah, Phil Ross, protect the rock. Straight Moon says, are you back in the room already, my man? You're supposed to be out there partying. Now, I'll do that later on. Don't worry about that. But I wanted to get, if I didn't make this live stream right now, it may take me a while to make a live stream. So I had to be here for a couple of minutes to give you my thoughts. I'm telling you right now, man. Last night, what's that club called again? I forgot. I went to the club down the street. Man, I forgot the name of it. Begins with a T. Turcos, or something like that. I came home late and stuff, so I had my party in. But yeah, I definitely hit the town tonight. Change up a bit. Yeah, Jackson State been showing a lot of love, man. People nice out here, and it's been great. It's so hot out. It was so hot out there, man. You needed about 5 waters. KBL Gamer said, this whole time I thought you were a 50-year-old dude. LOL. No, I'm 30 years old. But I have a voice. People tell me this all the time. I have a voice for radio. I have a voice like a damn, older man. Simply Beautiful says, I think we will not have. I think we will not have a sellout game. Not playing. If the game, I'll say this. You're right. If Jackson State would have played this at night, the game would have been even more packed. There still was a lot of people, but 1 p.m. games, man, it's hot. It's like, again, us brothers and sisters, we're used to the heat, but man, when I tell you it was hot, it was hot. And I grew up in H-Town, so you know that's something. Sonic Boom says Southern and FAMU spent too much energy worrying about barely losing to JSU instead of getting their team right. Sonic Boom C says 3 weeks in a row, people said JSU was in trouble because previous opponent, they're wrong 3 times. And before I continue, family, make sure it's 150 likes. Brian Johnson said Savion Wilkins should be the starter. But that's peace and blessings to the brother Robert Gaddy, man. Yeah, I am in Jacktown. For those who are in Jackson State, let me know what places to go to tonight, man. Yeah, let me know what places to go to. Yeah, I'm gonna celebrate before I leave. Yeah, like and share this video throughout all social media platforms. It's Raw Truth Media giving you the raw content. Hey, I saw JSU Tiger. You know what I'm talking about. He's on the chat time to time. He said, DJ, is that you? Someone said my name, and I'm looking around, and this brother with his wife was there. He said, man, we love your show. Man, I'm telling you, man, that meant a lot to me, man. JSU Tigers, man, salute to you, my brother. Oh, yeah, I talked to Zoe at the game. I'm going to hit them up. They definitely going to look out for me. Shout out to Ken Clark, man. Here's why you should subscribe to Ken Clark. Out of everybody on YouTube, and I know a few people, Swag Buzz, he's an honorable brother, Tamalu, the Sports Network, Coach Simmons, just people I've talked to, Kobe, formerly the CFL podcast, now Blitz City, Ken Clark, Zoe, and subscribe to Zoe in his YouTube channel. And I've already shared it on the community tab. When I tell you stand-up dudes, they're stand-up. If you're there and they know you and they try to make sure everything's good, make sure you go to the right places, make sure you're taken care of, and they don't do it for recognition. You can tell someone has a good conscience when they're looking out for you without any agendas. That's why I appreciate Ken Clark and Zoe. People don't realize I talk to them more off YouTube and stuff than on YouTube. I may comment here and there, but it's the same thing with me and Coach Simmons. The best conversations is on the phone call, and they have looked out for a brother. So Ken, Zoe, if you're listening, I appreciate you guys. And subscribe to their channel, man. Let's try to get Ken to 10,000 subs, and then let's try to get Ken to 20,000 subs. Because if there was anybody, and let's get Tamalu, the Sports Network, to 10,000 subs as well. Kobe, let's get him. Blitz City podcast, let's get them to 10,000 subs. Just great brothers. Yeah, I think Grambling was tired after halftime. They looked very tired. It was a lot of adrenaline. Scoring 17 points in the first half has to get you just like upbeat and ready to go. And before I go on, there should not only be 80 likes. Let's hit the like button. It's free. Drum Major, South Carolina State University says, JSU going undefeated in the SWAC. Well, if they're consistent. Jackson State is like Jekyll and Hyde on offense. The talent's there. Like, oh yeah, thank you, son. It was Trio. Shout out to Trio. Man, when I tell you a brother had a good time, my brother had a good time, man. Shout out to the DJ out there in Trio. They were playing some good music that night. Yeah, Hoop Jargon said Grambling did as good as they could given the talent disparity. Yeah, new team. Grambling fans, be patient. I see what Hugh Jackson's trying to build. Chance Williams, Maurice Washington, that's a duo you can lean on. The only thing I'll say is I want to see Chance Williams get as much touches as possible. I don't care if it's 30 to 40 touches. You got to get him more touches. Spence Matthews says, JSU running those stadium drills during the summer is paying off. Yeah, Mo Sims, man, he got those. They looked the part. JSU on the field. Because someone texted me and said, what does JSU look like on the field? They don't even look like an FCS team. I kid you not. And I'm not saying this being prisoner of the moment and going to the game and meeting a bunch of Jackson State people who have been cool with me. I'm telling you these facts. When I saw JSU come out of that tunnel and on the sideline, I said, wait a minute, this is an FCS team? The linemen are 300 plus pounds, 6'4" and up. The receivers are tall. The running back, Savion Wilkinson, like, he may not be as tall, but he is strong as hell. Again, 139 rushing yards in 20 attempts. And you know what's crazy? There was times in that game where Jackson State could have ran. See, this is when the offense, JSU's offense, is going to get consistency. Knowing when to run, knowing when to throw. There were times when the passing game is going, and you can see Grambling is softening that D-line interior. And, you know, the backers are scooped back. That's when you should use Savion. Savion was like a freaking, he was tough to take down. Sore Diesel says it's tough that you can't find any stats on the game. Yeah, that sucks. ESPN got to respect HBCUs more. Here's what you do. To find Jackson State stats, go to jacksonstate.com and go to their stats. They're still uploading the stats, but you can see before I came on live, they had the stats up until the fourth quarter of, like, on the system where it was like 6-14. So they're still adding stats a little bit. But go on that JSU website. That's what you used to do after every game. I don't think JSU ran play action as much. They should have when they had Savion running for all those yards. But again, this defense is, I know they gave 24 points, but, you know, the last touchdown was a garbage time touchdown. But they gave up 24 points. I felt the defense, for the most part, there is as good as advertised. The best defense in the FCS. Yeah, I said the best defense in the FCS. And they played a Grambling team who's catching their mojo. I know what I told you about that first game against Arkansas State. They played that team too early. And they needed cohesion. Oh, yeah, Miss Ivy Tube said, did you enjoy yourself at the vet? Yeah, man. It was great, man. I met a lot of fans, met a lot of people, met a lot of alums. Speaking of alums, before, I want to give y'all the lowdown on Jackson. Jackson they're building so many things in Jackson. So it's not no, you know, small roads and here and there, countryside, none of that. You can tell that this city has the potential to boom. There are a lot of land out here, and hopefully more brothers and sisters buy those land, buy those old properties, so it prevents gentrification. But I saw new houses being built, new stores being built, and the old media doesn't bring this up. And I know why they don't bring it up. They don't want to say what's good going on and how it has the potential of prospering. When you have celebrities going to JSU games, shout out to Coach Prime, this is bringing awareness. So you bring in more stores, you bring in more shopping marts, you bring in more infrastructure, and that's what it's all about. And the city, the school, Jackson State, they have a lot going for them. The other day I met Dr. Ashley Robinson. Ashley Robinson's a good man, very humble. He's doing a great job, RP, a damn good job. And he needs his respect. And looking at how they operate things, you know, it was the other day, everybody getting their tickets and stuff, so I was able to go upstairs and see how their office runs. It's like an NFL franchise. I kid you not. And it makes sense because Coach Prime he played in the NFL. When they was talking about, like, I've seen people talking about where to put this at, where to put that there, how to put chairs in certain areas for entertainment. They had that so organized, it was impressive. Like, they're on it. And all HBCUs should be working like that. Yeah, hit the like button, everyone. And how about that touchdown? Shout out to Malachi Wadman. When he plays more, look out. Y'all saw that touchdown? And I knew it was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. I'm telling you, teams cannot guard Malachi Wadman. Now, I know people are going to say why he didn't play. Again, coaches have their reasons. And Coach Prime, he knows what he's doing. So I'm going to trust that Coach Prime is doing what he needs to do for his players. He's done so much for this school and university. But I do want to point out, man, I like that touchdown, man. Malachi is a problem. Shout out to the brother, the big Aristotle, man, 1400. Man, the 1400 club and the members out there, man, those brothers are the real deal. How they carry themselves. You just respect people who are like that and willing to talk to you, willing to talk to anybody. It felt like a family reunion. And I definitely will go to more JSU games. Y'all let me know which games to go to. Sonic Boom says it was odd to see Malachi on the cleanup crew. Yeah, bench players. In due time, I think Malachi, when he's out there, he's going to make his presence known. It's going to happen. It's when. That's the thing. When is it going to happen? We'll see what happens. But I'm telling you right now, Malachi Wyman on the other side of Shane Hooks, that's going to be a problem. When that happens, you can't double Shane Hooks and you can't double Malachi Wyman. And if I'm an opposing SWAC team, I'm not playing no man-to-man. Because Grambling, I don't know if y'all noticed this, they played straight up man-to-man in this game. Now, I got to give Grambling credit. They held up in the man-to-man the first half better than a lot of teams. It's just that they got tired. You know, the heat getting to them. They're on the field more. And it got right back into it. So, if you're playing JSU, don't do man-to-man. I'm telling you right now. I'm seeing the game. You got to zone it up. And if Shadur is picking you apart with the underneath routes, so be it. You don't want any of their receivers to hit you over the top. We have 300 plus people in the chat. Let's get it up to 300 likes. I want to say peace and blessings to my brother AB the Hero. I mean, he talks basketball. I saw your video you did with Coach Prime. That was very good. Subscribe to his channel. One of the real ones on YouTube. He said, glad you went to check it out. Yeah, man, I'm going to more games, man. Man, everybody was so cool, man. They're like, DJ, man, go to any game. I got you. I mean, it's love out here. I talked to some Grambling State fans. They joke with me. They said, they like, DJ, I know you love Grambling too. We're going to hook you up with some gear. I'll wear the gear. You just got to send it to me. Or tell me where to buy one at. Theolopolis Jones says, "Hey man, love the shirt, and thanks for coming to the Jackson. Hey man, all eyes on thee. All eyes on thee." Before I go on, I want to thank the Most High for what He's doing for my life. The Most High has been so amazing to me personally. New job. I'm moving back to Texas. And I can't thank the Most High enough, man. Good things are going on in my life. And I sit back and just think, man, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. And YouTube has been so therapeutic to me. I love sports. I love that I'm able to talk sports with everyone. And we all can bond and bring positivity, positive affirmation, man. This is what it's all about. We all can agree to disagree. But when we're unified, we're so strong, man. When we're unified, we create greatness. Everything created in America is because of our ancestors and what we're still doing now. We are the greatest people in this world. I repeat, we are the greatest people in this world. And don't let any shine or buffoon take that from you. We have the power to create greatness. When you see what's happening in HBCUs, I am proud. I am proud of every school. I'm proud of all these ADs. Being an AD is tough, man. What Ashley Robinson is doing is amazing, man. And all he is doing is what every AD should be doing. And that's supporting your head coach. I told someone Coach Prime is quote-unquote blank check coach, which means whatever he asks for, you give it to Coach Prime. Because the objective is having him stay long-term. If you give Coach Prime what he needs, don't be surprised that he stays long. Everybody talking about when he's going and all that stuff. I'm ignoring it. I watched the game. Coach Prime, no matter a good play or a bad play, he loves that place. He loves Jackson, Mississippi. He wants JSU to win so bad for Jackson. He loves the fact that Jackson State, he could be himself, and you ain't tied down by the boosters within the game. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Let me read some more of these comments, man. Big Aristotle said, "I'm lit. I'm so lit right now. I'm sweating liquor, man." So I was in the concession stands, and for those who know me, I don't like carrying cash. Growing up in the city, I don't like carrying cash. So I had to find a concession stand that takes card. All they had was liquor. So I was like, hey, I bought a liquor, man. I needed something to drink. I'm right there with you, Big Aristotle, man. Shout out to the concession stand. Shout out to the concession stand workers, man. They was working their tails off, man. Ed Heason says, at the end of the third quarter, the stands was empty. Even the band was gone when Grambling scored. Yeah, that's what happens when you lose, man. Anybody's going to leave early when you lose a game. But I'm not going to overreact for Grambling's side to say, oh, it's over and all this stuff. Man, you're seeing right now, I'm talking about the SWAC West. If Grambling could just regroup and understand that there's still things they can improve on, they'll be fine. Dog, Big Aristotle said it was hot in that joint too. Man, it was. There was a lot of people in the stands that would go to, like, once there's a timeout break or anything, a lot of them went under the tunnel. Not the tunnel, but like, you know, before you go to the stadium, like way past the concession stand, like that hallway. Y'all know what I'm talking about. They went to the game. Just to get a cool break away from the sun. I had to do that multiple times. Man, man, it was so hot. Thank God I had a hat on. Man, it was hotter than Satan's toenails. That's something my grandmother said. Old folks come up with them sayings. It's hotter than a broiler. It's hotter than Hades. And Spence Matthews said hot wasn't a word. It was smoking. Shoot. I don't know how some of them brothers are able to smoke them Black and Miles in the stands. You gotta love HBCUs, man. Black and Miles, liquor, all over that joint, man. I love my people. I tell you, I love my people. Ain't nobody. Shout out to the bands, man. The Sonic Boom, man. If you haven't listened to the Sonic Boom, you're missing out. I love the bands. Let me repeat myself. I love the bands. You don't have HBCU football if you don't have the bands, man. That's part of our culture. JSU Tigers in the building. Hey, bro. I just gave you a wrench, my brother. I talked to the brother and this girl. Thank you, man. Because I heard someone say, DJ, is that you, DJ? I looked closely, and he said, this is JSU Tiger, bro. What's good, man? I was like, man, that's love, man. Well, they were turned up at the game, man. AB the Hero said, let me know the next game you're going to. I'm trying to make it to homecoming. You know I got to go to homecoming. I got to show love there. Right, Ed Houston. Yeah, that's love. So AB, look on the schedule on the home. I think it's in October. Jackson State versus Campbell. Campbell's very talented. They had a talented recruiting class. Their coach Mentor, he has those players playing at a high level. They did lose one game, but the team they lost, William and Mary, beat a FBS team this season. Right, AB? Homecoming's going to be lit. The Big Aristotle 1400 said, we just showed everyone in the SWAC that if you don't have a quarterback, it's going to be a rough day. And the words of DMX, it won't be a pretty sight for you and your pretty wife. This here is the city life. If you sit back and think, Jackson State scored 66 points, and this was an off game on offense. I still think the offense was off. In a consistency standpoint, they had 66 points, but tell me in the chat, for those who went to the game, was the offense consistent enough? Y'all be honest with me. When Jackson State fixed that, look out. When Jackson State offense is just like, kind of like FAMU, just a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit there. I like that Coach Brett Bartolone was starting to use the tight ends more. Big Aristotle said, offense would have done more quick outside the tight end. Yeah. Yeah, use the tight ends. I like JSU's tight ends. They're tall, they're athletic, they run fast, they run like receivers. Nighthawk says, not at all. JSU Tigers 06 says, nope. JSU Tigers 06, was you at the game? Shout out to the sister JSU Tigers 06, man. And I wanted to see everybody, man. I wanted to see the architect. I wanted to see put it on first. Good brothers, man. But I was so busy in the game and meeting up with everybody. I wanted to see Yard Talk. If I missed you, I apologize. and hopefully we can meet at another game or something. But let me think about what should I eat tonight. Oh, if you want to get some good ribs, listen closely. Tria. I think you spell it Trea. They got the best ribs. The ribs come off the bone. Ribs so good it makes a grown man cry. The texture, the food, and that's one thing about the South. There's going to be good cooking. I went to Trio last night, but there is a place with, I think it's Tia or it begins with a T. I did go to Trio last night. Trio is more like a club, but the place I went, Zia. I think it's called Zia, Zea, Zia. Hey, the Big Arrow started 1400 said, much love to you, homie. And everyone in the chat, bottle of yak calling my name. Hey, man, y'all deserve to celebrate, man. You pack out a stadium, you put up 66 points, turn up, man. And one thing about this trip to Jackson State, Zia. Yes, in Madison, Mississippi. Man, when I tell you those ribs were hidden, damn, I'm thinking about going back over there. I got to get that again. You know it's good. You know it's good food when the waitress was saying, "Is everything okay?" I looked at her. I looked dead at her and said, "Man, this is amazing." I ain't say anything else. When you cook food that good, there's nothing else to say. Back to the game. I don't know what Coach Prime said to his players, but it worked. Jackson State looked like what they should have been looking like. Jackson State looked like another team. I could just picture it right now. Coach Prime saying, you know, I don't like to cuss, but you darn well looked unimpressed in that game. I want to see some dogs. I want to see who's gonna get it. You want to make it to the NFL. Let's see. I can see him having that speech, man. I can see him saying, "Let's see who really wants to take their game to another level." Because they watching. You on ESPN. You stun on the Instagram, but how about stunning on the field? I could just picture it now. I don't have to be in the locker room just to. you know, bull junk is there. Ed Heaster says Coach Prime told him stop the bull junk. Yep. Sonic Boom C98 said I should go to Zia. My friend live in Madison. Yeah, Zia in Madison. Ryder says JSU's first half was almost disastrous. Think about how good this team is. The first half had so many turnovers, penalties. You're up. You scored 28 points in the first half. No, 21. Sorry about that. You scored 21 points in the first half. And the team still looked, and that's them being off. So picture if Jackson State has a clean first half going forward on offense. Kid the Barber said, "What's good, DJ? This is HL Kid. Much love, man. Hey, shout out to my brother HL Kid, man. He supported me all the videos, man. Stand-up brother right there. Hey, HL. Whenever I go visit Phoenix, man, I gotta hit up your barbershop, bro." Sonic Boom C98 says, "I wonder if they were too hyped for the first game. The atmosphere Yeah, that atmosphere was something. The clubs were popping. It was, this whole week was something, man. When you have Grambling coming to town, when you have Southern coming to town, games like that. Diamond says, I think it's more mental in the first half than physical. After the half, mental matches the physical. Yeah, it was more of a mental game. The physicality was there. I don't think Jackson State lacked physicality. But sometimes when you don't have your mental with the physicality, you're gonna have penalties. You're gonna have. I have a rule for the receivers and not the running backs. The running backs are holding the ball. They've held that ball well. Shout out to Savion Wilkinson. I met Savion at the bookstore where I got this shirt. Savion Wilkinson, very humble young brother, and I told him I like your run style because you do what you have to do. You see the hole, you go through it. And speaking of Jackson State fans, one thing I appreciate them on, no matter if you're first string, third string, or a walk on, they are treating every single player with the same love and appreciation. There was literally a player that I talked to, and I talked to a lot of players that was on the bench, barely playing the game, and they showing them love, and they showing this another player. You don't get that everywhere. The recruits were there. Now, for your recruiting news, if it's not this is why you should subscribe to Tiger Talk, the 1400 Club, because they got that info locked right now. My brother Kobe was not at the game; he had to go to a funeral, and I want to say, Kobe of the Blitz City podcast. I'm praying for your brother, praying for your family. Wish you were out here, but you'll go to more games. Yeah, if it's not those brothers, that's who I go to, man. So tune in to Ken Clark, Zoe, and the whole Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club. They're on it. And I'm not going to say who they brought in. You got to tune into their show. But when they told me that they're bringing in some studs. That's all I can say. They're bringing in some studs. And again, subscribe to either both of them, really. Subscribe to Ken Clark 1400 Club, Zoe's channel as well, Tiger Talk 1400, and the original Tiger Talk with the 1400 Club for all your sources, information of JSU. Those brothers be on it, man. Hit the like button. Let's get it up to 300 likes. Sonic Boom C98 says Valley down 0-12. Alabama A&M lost by 3 scores. Actually, because I was on my phone a little bit, Alabama A&M, even though they lost, and I don't really do moral victories, their defense did better than I thought against Austin Peay. Austin Peay is a juggernaut in the FCS, and they're rolling right now. And they should have beaten Western Kentucky. TSU is a good. Wait. Texas Southern is beating Southern 21-0. Man. 21-0. Wow. Yeah, like, share this video. Shout out to V. Carter. Peace and love to you. Michael Campbell says, if JSU put Hooks, Wyman, Pope, Gaines, and the other receivers tied in on the field, it's going to be fire. And that's the amazing part about JSU. They could bring anybody in, won't miss a beat. Number 14 was out there. You saw a little bit of um, number 15 as well. Can y'all tell me the name again? It's so many receivers. I had his name down, I forgot it. Uh, you also saw Quay Davis. Who saw that little? They did a toss, a run toss to Quay Davis, and I tell you, he looks like a running back. He's number 15, Sonic Boom 98. Rucker. Thank you, LJ Lowe. Trevante Rucker was out there. It was good to see him out there because Trevante Rucker is fast as hell. He is very fast. And when he gets acclimated, look out. Quay Davis, when he gets more touches, it's a matter of time. I'm letting y'all know. Peace and blessings to the dazzling Urbanite. Good brother right there. Yeah, right. It was a sweep, man. I said, woohoo, man. Yeah, keep running that. Quay Davis could be a wide receiver, running back. Almost there to 300 likes. Man, this is amazing, man. You guys are just... Big T says, am I missing something? We did win, right? Yeah, JSU win. But here's the thing about this channel, Raw Truth Media. I can't speak for everybody. So family, the ones who are listening right now, do y'all like when I'm transparent, when I'm giving y'all what JSU needs to work on, even though they're really good right now? I've talked to some people. I've talked to Mr. JSU Tigers today, and he told me, keep doing what you're doing, because they want to hear this team could do this right, if they could do that right. Like, example, I like for the tight ends to get used more. You saw today, they did it a few times. The tight end rollouts and screens are effective. That first half, and I could tell some people didn't even watch the first half. That first half was not clean football. It was not clean football. Coach Prime, you saw it in his face. He was furious because they know better than that. JSU Tigers 06 says, yes, keep doing what you're doing. We like the content. Thank you. Peace and blessings. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. V. Carter says, yep, transparency. This is from a JSU alum. The JSU alums that I talk to, y'all know who y'all are. Some of them who give back to the program, who are who really behind the scenes are doing everything to help the program out. They like this type of transparency talk because nobody wants to hear after a win, oh, there's nothing to work on and stuff. Everything is welcome. I talked about how Jackson State is just like that potential they have. The reason why I want to see Jackson State play a clean game is because I see so much talent they have. Is it far-fetched to say that Jackson State has the most talent in the FCS? I think they have the most talent in the FCS. They're faster than most teams. They're bigger than most teams. And when they're consistent, they are scary. I don't care if they're in the SWAC. They try to use that as an insult. One moment, it's called that goalpost movement. Every time Jackson State wins a game, they're moving the goalposts. They talking about, well, Jackson State won, but they did give up 24 points, but they're not going to tell you about the garbage time points. Nope. They're not going to talk about some of the corners holding the receivers. And these SWAC refs, I watched firsthand, these SWAC refs are terrible. A historic league like the SWAC needs refs who are accountable. I saw so many holding calls. I'm right there. I'm looking at it. They're allowing teams to grab and hold JSU. I'm seeing it right there. So much so, I saw Grambling fans, some of them. that said, "Oh, they got away with that." They were saying it. They got away with that. So you're holding a lot, you're getting away with stuff. I'm like, God, leave. Blatant holds a whole game. I don't mind team coaches. I don't mind refs letting players play, but it got to be balanced. You can't just, one end let a hold go through, and then you're calling all these weird penalties. The SWAC refs need to be better. What the SWAC coaches are trying to do now, they're trying to level the playing field, and they need the officiating to be level. Like Sonic Boom C98 said, it has to be balanced. It was not balanced. They called another one, Grambling. I can't believe they didn't call that holding call. Number one was streaking down the field. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If he would have turned back a certain way, that would have been. They called a hold, but not pass interference. You see what I'm saying? That doesn't make any sense to me. Aaron Wilson says, yes, brother, give your true assessment, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That's what I'm here for. I would never sugarcoat a damn thing. Nobody wants to hear all that pillow talk kind of conversation. Well, everything's hunky-dory. They did everything right. Nobody's trying to hear that shit. Excuse my language. Make sure to hit the like button. Share this video if you haven't. CH $ says, DJ, I'm watching you on my phone and have 4 different games at home. Hey, man, it is, man. I wish I could. I'm using a different app, so I'm not using StreamYard. Clarence Kenny, I wish I could just show that comment right there. That is the comment of the day. JSU goals are beyond the SWAC. Coach Prime went undefeated in the SWAC his first year. Yeah. JSU's goals are beyond the SWAC. So when fans of JSU are saying, we got to be consistent in the first half, their goals are above even some haters. Tell me if I'm lying or not, JSU fans. Your dreams and aspirations for JSU, not only this year but going forward, it exceeds the expectations of people hating on your school. And here's what you have to do. Shout out to She Loves Z. She said, I love. You have so much things going on. You should ignore people talking about your school. Because they're carrying HBCUs right now. And I don't want to hear about no damn Celebration Bowl. The only time you hear South Carolina State, and nothing against the school, shout out to South Carolina State, South Carolina band who follows my channel and many others. I love the defense of South Carolina State. Buddy Pugh is a legend. But they are not fooling me. Meaning outsiders, when they talk about South Carolina State, you're not bigging them up because they have history and they have players in the NFL. You're bigging them up to put down another HBCU. You go look at Twitter, you go look at Facebook pages, and every time they bring up the Celebration Bowl. And remember, I compared the Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State is like the Celtics. Remember when the Celtics beat the Lakers that first time? The 08 Celtics? They've been talking about that team, the Celtic players and fans. They talk about them like they were the greatest team of all time. They weren't the greatest team of all time. You won 1 championship. Really, they underperformed the Celtics have. But they always talk about their 08 championship. And it's the same thing with that Celebration Bowl. I guarantee you, they will talk about that Celebration Bowl for years. Let's say there's a different team. Let's say North Carolina Central is at the Celebration Bowl. They'll still talk about that Celebration Bowl. So my advice for all JSU fans, just ignore it. Turn up right now, man. Get your lookout, get your yak, whatever you're drinking. If you got Black and Miles, do that. You won a game. You scored 66 points, and you were off in the first half. Careless turnovers that you know you're better than that. That's what you did. And you still beat someone 66. You scored 66 points on somebody. Sonic Boom C98 says they talk about the Celebration Bowl the way LeBron fans won't stop talking about the Warriors series. Hey, North Carolina Central, man, they're a fun team. I love the North Carolina Central fans. They're so happy about their team. How many times have you heard North Carolina Central bring up Jackson State or bring them up in a negative light? Not one time. They're so happy of what they're doing. The young players they're playing. Their star quarterback Davis Richards. They're not worrying about all these teams. The best teams worry about themselves. The best teams are worrying about trying to better their school. Not all this, man, my goal is to beat Jackson State. No, how about your goal is to win your conference? How about your goal is to win the section of your division? How about your goal, if you're in the MEAC, is to make the Celebration Bowl? How about your goal to beat non-conference teams? So we don't have Shines talking about strength of schedule. I'm telling you the whole playbook. The SWAC hate playbook. the JSU hate playbook. That's all they do. Strength of schedule. You ain't playing nobody. It's the same old playbook, man. It's so predictable. It's not even funny. I could predict what a hater's gonna say, man. It's so easy. But yeah, man, Jackson State's where it's at. Jackson, Mississippi is where it's at. If you didn't go to if you don't go to Jackson, Mississippi for a home game, not even one time, I don't know what you're doing. Like they look out for everyone out here. Everybody talking about the water and all that stuff. You see, when Coach Prime spoke up, they got it done. What did Coach Prime say? That water better be fixed before that game. That water was fixed. I'm at the Western right now. The water's clean. There's nothing bad. They took care of it. No problems. And where I was staying at, I got to give Grambling fans credit. They showed up at the Western, like suited and booted. You had fans there was one that had a tailor-made suit. I don't know if they trying to stunt. they support, and I'm not surprised. Grambling State is so historic for all HBCs, no matter what conference it is. They're historical to the standard, and I don't think anyone who knows, if you can't say you know HBCU football and not at least admit historical purposes. Grambling's the standard. What Eddie Robinson has done, I hear about all these coaches and to say, oh, they had this difficulty, but for Eddie Robinson to achieve the way he has during the civil rights era and going forward, and what I'm impressed with Eddie Robinson through his career is, even though college football changed a bit on offense, he made sure his team had a good success rate throughout the years. And JSU, they have a lot of history too, especially in the 90s. You can look at how many players they had drafted. They had a bunch of players drafted in the 80s, and when Walter played, and future Hall of Famers or current Hall of Famers. It gets no better than that. Sonic Boom C98 said Shines want JSU to lose to Campbell so bad. Yeah, they're banking on that. Boy, they're praying to the Most High for that. Did I just read that right? Delta State is beating Mississippi Valley State 18-0, and Delta State's a good D2 program. Let's not put them down, but let me guess who started the game. Was it Jelani Eason? Family, let me know who started that Delta State, Mississippi Valley State game. And it's nothing against Jelani Easton, but I just you have so many playmakers at quarterback. You could go T.J. Goodwin, you could go Jones, one of the top JUCO quarterbacks. Something. Ryder says even with last year's celebration bowl win, South Carolina State still knows that JSU is in fact the team to beat. Don't have to tell them what they already know. Rashad Al Abdul Madul says yes, you're right. Thank you for that. Uh, Sonic Boom C98 says Valley doesn't have a quarterback. Easton isn't the guy. Transfer isn't ready. True, even if the transfer, the JUCO transfer that is, isn't ready, he could do a lot better than that. Chris Turner said them Shines must have a really sad life. Well, JSU fans, the ones who are not on social media a lot, but I mean, they celebrate, man. They ain't worried about a damn thing. I mean, the city of Jackson has put a lot of HBCUs on the map. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. They are. Coach Prime has added that too. When you bring Coach Prime to a school with history like Jackson State, let's not forget their history. Let's not say they ain't got no football history. We let the Hall of Famers speak on that. You could go on you could go on Google and go Jackson State football history. With Wikipedia or any site, and there's a laundry list of former NFL players. You mix that with Coach Prime, a stadium that carries 60,000 fans, and I'll let y'all know right now, SWAC, what can we do to allow Jackson State to get 7 home games? Now, you may think that's far-fetched, but I don't care. The city of Jackson can make so much money if they have 7 home games. I get it. It's a game within a game. I have nothing against this, what the SWAC is doing. Their AD has done a great job, in my opinion. And I know that they're trying to make sure that other cities get some of that economic boost, because Jackson State will support. They'll go on the road trips. They proved that this year. But I just want the citizens to be rewarded for showing up, and I want that money in Jackson. You see what I'm saying? I wanted to go to the stores, the local stores that I saw today, and they're just happy to see somebody new and showing love and they tell you, come back now. I want to make sure, I wish the citizens are happy. Yeah, RP to Tavares Jackson, Steve Air McNair, legends in the SWAC, legends for all HBCUs, legends in the FCS. Don't forget that. Okay, maybe I'm a little over there at 7. Okay, how many regular season games? Most of them are 11 and 12. 6 home games. That's almost half and half. I think that's fair. You win your SWAC conference, you're bringing in money to the school, 6 home games. Jackson State should have 6 home games. I would never change that opinion. Yeah, I'm interested to see how North Dakota State does against Arizona. They don't lose too many FBS games. And speaking of North Dakota, they should have been in the FBS. I don't want to hear about they ain't got the money. The state funds if the state supports their school. They got money. It's just that when you're in the FBS, you're not going to be playing in a national championship game. You got to recruit at a high level in the FBS. It's beyond coaching. I think the coaching as well. Like if North Dakota State was in the FBS, they'll go to bowl games. I'll give you that. They just won't play for the national championship. They won't be on that level. Michael Campbell says Black America needs a new economic infrastructure, ecosystem, agenda, initiatives, innovation, ideas, strategies, and plan of action for HBCUs and the Black community. Amen to that, brother. Keep the money in house. Well, I don't know. I don't know if people realize the black dollar. We spend trillions of dollars on accessories, Jordan shoes. If we like it, we're gonna find a way to spend it, and we're gonna find a way to make that money so we can spend it. Updates final. Daryl Smith final, and I don't like calling Tennessee State TSU. TSU, from growing up in Houston, has always been Texas Southern. I get so confused when Tennessee State is called TSU. But TSU, the original TSU, Texas Southern, shout out to them, shout out to the Tigers, defeated Southern 24-0. Texas Southern has something to say in that division. People try to overact that they lost to Prairie View A&M, but what did I tell you about Prairie View A&M? Prairie View A&M is a lot better now. They play against Incarnate Word. I hope they have a good showing, but do not overjudge how they do against Incarnate Word, because Incarnate Word just beat Nevada. I want y'all to be realistic now. Yes, Southern needs to get it together. And I'm disappointed in Southern because I expected better from them. Because I bet you if they played against Jackson State, they're gonna want to show up to that game. The execution, the effort. CH says Incarnate Word 20-7 Prairie View A&M. For those who are looking at that score, do not judge Prairie View A&M off that game. Incarnate Word can whoop a lot of teams. You know what? And they beat a Nevada school who is really good, who's going to be in the bowl game this year, I'm assuming, in the FBS. They score at will. Their quarterback right now is hitting on all cylinders. That's a tough game. Incarnate Word is no joke. Dazzle said JSU looked loaded on offense and defense and special teams. The distractors are slowly running out of I hate JSU material. Well, they coming up, they're reading books to see how they can hate more. That's what it's funny to me. Man, Jackson State, y'all showing some love, man. I'm reading the inboxes, man. Yeah, people saying paying for my drink, man. Shout out to those who are doing that. Salute. Yeah, I'm stepping out tonight. Had my little fun before I move back. If I go back, I gotta move some things. Moving back to Texas. Can't wait for that. It's gonna be a long drive. I'm thinking about when I do that 34-minute drive of going live periods of time when I'm driving. What y'all think about that? We just talk about anything, really. Make the time go by. Probably one of the longest streams. Now, it won't be no 34-hour stream because I'm not driving 34 hours straight. 4 hours here and there, probably. Chris Salas says Southern got shut out by Texas Southern. That's why we never, when it comes to content creating, when it comes to breaking down film and talking about teams, what I always say, do not overreact. When Texas Southern lost to Prairie View A&M, what did I tell you? Prairie View A&M is athletic. They're coached by a former NFL player. They have former NFL players coaching the coaching staff. Similar model to JSU, similar model to Grambling. Give them time. Ed Heason said Jackson State versus Texas Southern. Yeah, they're clicking right now. I can't wait for that game. Shout out to Angie Body and Andrew Body's father as well. Nice people. And Texas Southern, I'm glad they won that game. Now they can focus. and get back to the offense. I want Andrew Body to do well. I want all the kids of Houston to do well. I'm from there. I know he's from Corpus Christi, but he's playing for a college team in H-Town right now. I just want the SWAC quarterbacks who are really talented to do their job, to ball out. And Andrew Body, when he has time, he is tough to beat. It all depends on the offensive play calling. Coach Clarence McKinney, you have a talented quarterback. You got to make sure he's surrounded by, the proper things that all quarterbacks need. Because it takes 11 players on the field. This ain't basketball where your star can just go off. And like Ed used to say, like the video, share the video on all platforms. CH said, that's why I couldn't give a score. The Southern game, their 2 prior games were polar opposites. Yep. Mike T with an interesting comment. Mississippi Valley State next week is a potential trap game for JSU. If they lose to Delta State, I want the JSU players, and I'm sure Coach Prime is going to talk to them about this, to dial in. Take this as a challenge. The doubters are saying you won't be consistent. Prove them wrong. Prove them wrong. And I hate that for Mississippi Valley State. I hope they find a way to win this game. Coach Dancy, man, he is doing all he can to make sure that Mississippi Valley State is one of the most respected teams around. He's doing that. And I don't want that to be lost in translation. I see what he's building at Valley. Valley just needs a quarterback. A quarterback is the guy. He doesn't have to be Andrew Body. He doesn't have to be Shadur. A perfect quarterback in a SWAC is a quarterback who is balanced. You're going to need to run because, let's be honest, most SWAC teams don't have top offensive line play. So you're going to have to be able to run, but not a scrambler. You want to be a pocket passer who can run a bit when you're in trouble. And the thing that's going on in Jackson, so there's so much competition with this team. I looked at every receiver, every tight end, every lineman. They are deep, man. I'm looking at the sidelines. So if you have an off game, you may not start next week. And that's what I think that second half came into play. Because I'm sure Coach Prime talked about, you want to keep your position, right? You got to show me more than that. Man, that does something to a player. When you hear a coach say that, that tells you, man, I got to get this together. You got to get it together. But that's my challenge to JSU. Do your part. Defense, I'm impressed with defense. Even though they gave up 24 points, defense is bringing more guys back. This is the tip of the iceberg with the defense. But that Aubrey Miller, Niles Gaddy, Kelmon Simmons, Craig, the list goes on. I would list the whole team if I could. I'm not about to list everybody. Y'all know the players. They are something else. And that Cameron Summer Craig, he's like the reincarnation of the honey badger. He's one of those players, he has to be on the field. Now, this may surprise some people. They do miss Shiloh Sanders, his ability to pursuit on the run. When Shiloh Sanders is playing, he has offensive players think twice before you run up in that middle. They miss his energy. Shiloh Sanders, when he's on the field, he knows where the players are going to. Now, the safeties are covering well, for the most part. for the most part, because they could have gave up that one score if the player looked, y'all know the play. It's early in the first quarter, outpost, and the receiver, if he just looked back, that'd have been a lot of yards of gone for 6. But besides that, the coverage is good. But they need that intimidator. Shiloh, when he comes back, he's going to turn up. That's the fan favorite. If you ask a lot of JSU fans, who's one of the fan favorites, they always say Shiloh. I said, why Shiloh? I wanted to know. They would tell me the love for the school. He genuinely loves the city of Jackson. Very personable. He's probably the most personable Sanders. Easy to reach, easy to talk to. So the fans of JSU, they will ride for Shiloh. But if you watch film, they were missing his energy, his presence, and those runs, especially when Washington have, most of the time that doesn't happen when Shiloh is there. There was somebody saying, oh, why Coach Palmer always say, wait till we bring him back, the safeties are covering fine. Yes, that's true. But Shiloh gets the players at the right positions at safety. Y'all know he does. And you ain't getting no big runs like that when Shiloh's playing. He's erasing all that. I want to say thank you to Daryl Barnes for donating to the channel, whether it's $2 or $5 or $10 and even more. All goes back to producing more content. He said somebody other CB other than he said somebody other than CB other than Bolden should start. And thank you for the super chat, my brother. Wiggins, number 5. He's that dude, man. Now, I know some people asked about Nugget. Nugget came off the bench. I don't know what's going on, but he is sounded. And, again, y'all got to trust the coaches, man. We don't know what's going on that's why I don't really, comment on that. But he's a talented player. And shout out to Slack Buzz, subscribe to his channel. A good brother, man. A very good brother. One of the most humble people in this YouTube game, man. Very personable, easy to talk to. And it's been a big help. He says, what's good, DJ? Safe travels. Thank you for that, my brother. Yeah, it's been a Slack Buzz, man. The JSU folks can party, man. They can party, man. They like to celebrate. They're gonna they always cherish their wins. They ain't let nobody stop their celebration, man. You gotta have that, man. One thing I didn't bring up, the beautiful black sisters. I repeat, the beautiful black sisters. Oh my God, man. So many black Southern belles. Beautiful, man. Beautiful, beautiful. And there ain't nothing like it. Daryl Barnes said, thank you for the $2 super chat. He said, I've been drinking, LOL. Hey, man, celebrate, man. Mike T, I respectfully disagree. Respectfully. You my dog, man. Nugget is that dude. He is very talented. But, again, we don't know all that's going on. So, I'm not going to be here and say, oh, this may happen or not. I'm not in the coaching staff. A Swag Bus says, DJ going to find him a wife out there, man. I would not complain. I would not complain. If you wanna find a beautiful sister to wife up, man, come to Jackson, Mississippi, man. I'm giving the sisters an endorsement. Very approachable, nice. It reminds me back home a little bit. He said, "Are they thick?" Oh, yeah. Yeah, the sisters are thick here. What is it? Corn fed. Corn fed. Oh yeah, that's important, Jacktown. Oh, these sisters out here can cook. Don't let they want to look good and stuff fool you. They know how to cook. Levi said, "Did you have fun, DJ?" Man, I had a ton of fun. I had a ton of fun, man. Yes, King Iran. Thank God for black women. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but a top-notch black woman is like you can't mess that up. When you have a top-notch black woman, you cannot mess that up because they got her own job. She cooks. She don't complain too much. Nothing's perfect in a relationship. That's what you need to get. Boy, they was head to toe looking good, and they didn't care if it was hot out there. They didn't care about that. They was gonna look good no matter what. I said, man, these sisters. I was like, Day Day. I was like, I'm trying to see how that be like. Y'all know that scene I'm talking about. She about to go in this hotel here got a bar, and I'm gonna be up in there. Uh, 100% Yard Archimist said, I'm from Jackson. We got some good ones, but got rats. Now, I'm not saying all on purpose, but it's good to see some beautiful sisters. I cannot front that. I was like, mm. MMA. Level says, I dropped my little cousin off to JSU about 6 years ago and saw a sister that looked like a Lisa Ray. She was 17-year-old freshman. Just beautiful black women up and down like this. It was hard not to look, man. It was hard not to look. Corey Lee says, "Is this the love connection of Jackson State football?" I'm just chatting with y'all. I'm telling you about the city. I would never complain about saying the positives of the city. I mean, what's wrong with saying Jackson State got beautiful women? I'm sure the women likes to hear stuff like that. I'm sure the women would rather hear that than being disrespectful. So I know the black women who watch this channel, they're appreciating that I'm showing them love. Shout out to Deputy Mario, man. Hey, what's the name of that place, bro? That place that's down the street. I forgot the name of it. Jacktown says, if you ain't from Jackson, Corey, you won't understand. See, I would never apologize to beautiful black women. Yeah, I'm at the West End. Nice place out here. Got a bar, got music at nights. Names and Faces Lounge, yeah. They had to swing through. But I just wanted to chat with everybody. It's positive vibes, it's love from every single one, man. Going forward, doing YouTube, you won't see me stressed out. You won't see me. YouTube is here for fun, enlightenment, bringing everyone together. I will always, I repeat, always be about joy on YouTube. This gives me escape. I'm not trying to do all that Jared Springer crap. I'm not doing it. So, uh, Level says, love the channel content in your format. I'm a subscriber. I appreciate that, my brother. But what's good, Superior Trucking? He said, what up, DJ? I'm in the building. Peace and blessings, man. And oh, Level says he's new. Debbie Moss, the Names and Faces Lounge, right around the corner. Yeah, I just saw that on my phone. Yeah, good looking out, my brother. Corey Lee says, "Full." Are you talking to me, Corey Lee? I didn't. See. He says, "I graduated from A&T." Oh, nah, I'm not really gonna stir that. This is all fun, man. I don't know about y'all. I'm gonna have some fun tonight, and I advise you all to, even if you won, if you lost, turn up. You only live once. Be around your folks. Have some fun, man. Shout out to Superior Trucking. He said, "What's up, DJ? Who is going to be better, Hornets, Pelicans this year?" Pelicans. The Hornets don't have an identity, and the Pelicans, at least Willie Green is doing a good job with them, and he's probably the one coach that could have Zion stay. But everybody else, I don't know. But I have more trust in Willie Green than Steve Clifford, and Coach Joe would like to say Clifford the Big Red Dog. Yeah, Sonic Boom said I'm about to get out too. Shout out to HBCU Band Talk, man. Peace and blessing to you. Make sure to hit the like button. Share this video throughout all social media platforms. Peace and love. We're in the city of Jackson. Have fun. Turn up. I'm about to be out.